Okay guys, Sunday the 1st of October and we're on the FTSE 100. So let's have a quick recap of the market from last week in relation to our Sunday analysis, and then we'll have a look at it for the trading week ahead. Okay, so the main thing we were going over last week were these key levels of resistance up above, how the market had broken down from those levels. We were looking for it to pull back into them and then look for potential resistance. Now, from Monday onward, up into these levels, I was just looking for weakness, looking for potential sell positions. We also found support down toward the 270 area. And for most of the week, the market was just in a range. Continued for most of the week up until Friday, looking for that weakness up from these key levels up here, looking for those potential sell positions. And then on Friday, so coming into Friday, the only thing that changed, the only thing I went over with subscribers was that what we looked like we were doing was having a price squeeze. So the market was following a sloping support line on the way up, and then it was finding resistance from 7,320 up to sort of 7,330. So key resistance up here. Following the sloping trend line on the way up, we were having an ascending triangle. And what I went over was basically, if we broke down below this level, we could expect a stronger move down. If we broke up above this level, we could look for the pullback and then the potential bullish move up toward, I believe it was 7,370, maybe just a little bit lower that I said it was likely we would see tested on the FTSE on Friday if we did break up above this level. Okay, so for coming into next week now, what are we looking at? Well, first thing is we have had a very strong bullish day on the 29th. So we are still coming up into key resistance levels. So I'm still going to be looking up here for those potential sell positions and for potential bearish action on this market. So really, let's have a look at a couple of the levels. We've got one sitting up here. Actually, the market just came into this on Friday. Now we're using previous levels of structure back here. You can see the market testing. This whole section here where the market was rejecting multiple times up into these what was then resistance levels. Even as we break up above, we're still coming down. We're still using these levels as support. So it's an important level and definitely worthwhile watching moving into next week. You could actually move this up into 7,400. So we're taking into account the round number 7,400. Bring it up to incorporate more of the spikes down. The spike up from the 14th and the spike down from the 12th. So strong level to keep your eye on moving forward. More than happy to look for potential resistance at this area coming into the start of next week. Up above, next key levels really are toward 7,430. Up into really 7,450. This whole section right here. So 1 and 2 for potential resistance if we see the market pressing up into either. If we do start to break up above these levels and accept above these levels, so we see the market breaking up, it would become worthwhile looking for the pullbacks, because we would then be really looking for potentially a move up into 7,500 if we start to break up above this key level of resistance. Now we did have the spike up on, let's just mark this in, at 7,460 from the 1st of September. It is potential resistance. If we did see that break above and the pullback, any buy positions you would want to watch here for potential rejection on the move. However, for me, this was a false breakup from this whole section of price action here, this whole section here when the market was ranging. This was a false break up before the sellers stepped back in once again. We then tried to get up. We failed to make a new high and the market collapsed. So break above, worthwhile looking for a potential move to 7,500. At present, resistance and resistance. Other key level is down below. Really 7,335 to 7,320. Using the multiple spikes up that we've had over the last couple of weeks. It's giving us the clue that the buyers would potentially step in if we see the market falling back down. And then if we start to break down below this level, especially if it is next week, then potentially what we have seen is a false break up, the market rejecting at resistance, coming back down. I would then expect, well, first of all, this would become good resistance, look for sell positions. If we do reject, certainly at the start of next week, and we come down and fail at this level, it would likely be the false break. We would likely see a stronger bearish move down on this market, at least into the 7,270 level, but more than likely back down toward this whole section of price action down here, 7,250 to 7,230. So those are the main areas, guys. This is potential support moving forward. Certainly if we pull back, we want to be watching here. If we do start to find support and the market starts to bounce once again, then it's likely that this breakup is holding, and we could potentially be in for a stronger bearish movement up toward the 7,430 level. If we break up above this level, we're coming up into key resistance. Breaks above here, look for the move up towards 7,500, but it would still be key resistance until we see that break. If we do start to fail at this level, very likely a false break, and I would then expect a stronger bearish movement once again, and likely the continuation from this previous breakdown. So that's everything for next week, guys. A few different things that we're looking at. We're really after such a strong bullish move up from Friday. We're now looking to see if this market is going to put in a further rally, or if we're going to see the weakness step back in once again, and if this has been a false break up. At present, we are still testing into these key levels of resistance. Still more than happy to look for those sell positions. Okay, so I hope you all have a good trading week next week. As always, I hope that was helpful. I'm James Orr, and thank you.